You know me. I love airbrushes. I live, breathe, and occasionally dream about them. But there is one thing I have never really believed in. $30 soft spring upgrades and such. All those little tweaks that promise to turn your airbrush in the next level paint cannon. I've heard it all before, and honestly, most of the time, I think they're pure snake oil. Modern airbrushes are already fantastic right out of the factory. They don't need gimmicks. They just need maintenance, cleaning, and a good pair of hands. However, when Dave Goldfarb, the airbrush guru himself, puts his name on something, I pay attention. Dave isn't just another guy selling parts, he's an airbrush historian. He's got one of the largest collections in the world, and his knowledge goes deep: manufacturing, history, tolerances, materials, all of it. So when I saw he was designing custom upgrade kits for specific brushes, I had to try them for myself, and I'm glad I did. Today, I'm going to show you what makes Dave's kits so special, how they work, and why I'm slowly upgrading some of my most used airbrushes. Let's begin, shall we? The main component in these upgrade kits is something called FFKM, and here is why it's a big deal. FFKM is basically a super version of PTFE, or Teflon. It's a perfluoroelastomer, a material with nearly universal chemical resistance and the ability to handle extreme temperatures up to about 325 degrees Celsius or 617 Fahrenheit. In plain English, it gives you all the chemical protection of the Teflon, but with the softness and flexibility of rubber. That means these seals completely replace the standard Teflon ones in your airbrush. You still get bulletproof solvent resistance. You can spray lacquer, enamel, IPA, acetone, whatever, but now with a smoother, lower friction seal around the needle. The result? A silkier, more responsive trigger feel, especially when doing fine detail work. Dave even includes softer springs, one for the needle and one for the air valve, which makes the whole trigger motion lighter, smoother, and easier on your hand. So, I got two of Dave's new upgrade kits, one for my Iwata HPB Plus and one for my RICHPEN Ultra 2024. Let's start with the Iwata. First, I take the airbrush apart, removing most components so I can reach the internal seals. The first target is the tiny seals inside the body, right between the trigger and the air valve. It's not an easy one to remove. I'm using a very sophisticated tool, a bent needle I made in a hook. It works perfectly. Hook, pull, done. If taking it out was tough, putting in the new one is even tougher. With small pliers, I gently squeeze and push it back in. And once it's seated, we move on. Next up, the needle packing screw seal. The HPB Plus already comes with a Teflon seal, and we're not removing it, just expanding the bore slightly so it doesn't create friction anymore. That lets Dave FFKM seal do all the sealing work, which gives that buttery, smooth needle movement. You can use a toothpick for this, just a tiny push to open that bore permanently. Then, using my packing screw extraction tool, I mount the packing screw, slide on Dave's FFKM seal, and add a tiny bit of waterproof grease from the kit. Normally I skip grease, but hey, full Dave experience today. Screw it back in, check with the needle. It should move freely but still seal perfectly. Then I reassemble the trigger and piston. Now for the springs. I replace the rear needle spring with Dave's softer one. Combined with the new seals, it makes the trigger action buttery smooth. No stutter, no scratch, just total control. I already have the same setup on my HPBH, and trust me, it's a night and day difference. Finally, the air valve spring. It makes pressing down the trigger lighter and smooth. I reassemble everything, testing, and wow, the feel is completely transformed. Smoother, more connected, more refined. It's one of those upgrades you don't think you need until you try it. Now, let's move on to the RICHPEN DaveG Ultra 2024. Every airbrush is different. Different designs, seals, and layouts. And Dave created custom kits for each model. We start the same way, installing the new seal on the packing screw. I first expand the bore of the stock Teflon seal so it won't interfere. Then mount the screw on my tool, slide on Dave's FFKM seal and add a touch of grease. Now the air valve, much simpler than the Iwata, no hidden internal seals here. The Ultras sits right on top of the valve, so I just pulled the old one out, dropping the new one and done. Here is where things get interesting. Dave recently developed a new nozzle-based seal specifically for RICHPEN DaveG brushes, including this Ultra. If you have used this before, you know the floating nozzle design sometimes causes bubbling inside the cup. I had that happen with my Evolution and even my Infinity, and the fix is usually to over-tighten the air cap, which isn't great. Dave's solution is a firm yet pliable FFKM seal that replaces the stock Teflon gasket. It sits perfectly and prevents bubbles without over-tightening, so I removed the Teflon one, dropping Dave's version, reinstalled the nozzle, and that's it. No leaks, no bubbling, no nonsense. Then I swap out the air valve spring for Dave's softer one, makes the downward motion lighter. And finally, the needle spring, which completes the upgrade. Once everything's back together, the trigger feels is unreal. Smooth, fluid and precise. No more stickness, no jumpiness, just perfect mechanical feedback. And that's it, both airbrushes fully upgraded. If you're like me and own multiple airbrushes, you might not need to mod every single one. But if you're someone who paints every day, for hours at the time, these kits are absolutely worth it. They don't just make your airbrush feels better, they make it last longer. FFKM seals are essentially lifetime components, solvent-proof, heat-resistant, and they hold their shape for years. So, if you want the best possible feel from your favorite brush, this is a small upgrade that delivers huge results. I'm doing it because I love how it transforms my tools. And if you're curious, go check out Dave Goldfarb's Facebook page. It's packed with knowledge about airbrush design, history and maintenance. If you want one of these kits, just reach out to him directly there. I'll leave a link in the video description. And that's all for today, guys. I hope it was helpful, and maybe it inspires you to fine-tune your own setup. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like and subscribe, and join me in the pursuit to become the fastest airbrush slinger in the West. Hey!